So hello everyone. I have a new setup. And today we will be doing some Pandoc to Django live coding, introducing Pandoc to Django, which is a really cool idea because currently I will try and show you how this works. Well, so let's test my new setup, which I have been preparing for some time already. And let's see, right? So let's say that we have me, user admin. Yeah, and I want to have a blog. So basically I'm using Django here. I'm using Django, and apart from that I need to create models for Django. So I need to have a model which will be a post model, and currently there was a problem with how to render markdown and how to render possibly math jacks, how to render Pandoc cross-references for scientific writing. And currently the solution was to use like Python markdown and have just a content field, right? Having a content field. And this is not ideal because let's say that we have a user that sends a request, and this would be a GET request, I think. And every time that the Django receives the GET request, we need to send a response, which if we only have a content field, which is markdown, we need to apply filters on every request so that we return HTML structure. And that's a problem, because let's say that we want to have 1,000 users. Then every time the user sends a request, the filter needs to run and do the pre-processing of the markdown, I think. I'm not sure about that, but so don't quote me on this. But essentially what I want to do is optimize that, and so I need to have two fields, content and content HTML. And every time that I send something, the admin sends something to the Django server, and this will be mostly the content, right? So every time this happens and the model is saved, so probably on save, I need to apply a receiver which will re-render and replace content HTML. And right now this is pretty straightforward. I believe I think I've done it before. And this is important because then when any kind of user gets a request, he will only receive the content HTML, and the administrator will only deal with this content, because the content HTML is automatically generated, right? So this is user generated, let's say, and this is automatically and I lost not enough place I could, you know. So that's the plan. That's the plan for this stream, is to try and create and insert like Pandoc processing here. From markdown to HTML. From markdown to HTML. So for this stream, we'll be doing this. Or maybe not really. We'll be doing this. And hopefully I can make it, but I'm not sure, because it's the first time doing stuff like this. So, Kaszanas, I will answer your question. I have a drawing tablet, so I'm drawing this with a pen. One of the cheaper drawing tablets, you know. So yeah, because the Kaszanas asked me if I'm using my computer mouse or a drawing tablet. I could possibly maybe use a mouse, but I have my stylus for that, and it's good. Just gotta get used to it a little bit for drawing and so on. Okay, so I think we know everything, and apart from that, let's just go into it and let's try and make it happen. So currently I have a model which is content and content HTML, and this cannot be null. This can be, when I save the model from the admin, this can be null. We don't have the receivers prepared yet, and I will have to reference another project for that. So let me try and do that, or maybe let's just try and read the docs, right? So we have the docs, and okay, I need to exit the full screen mode for a moment, which will break the overlay for sure, but I need to create a new window of Visual Studio Code. Okay, so receivers are supposed to be in the main catalog of the application, the Django application. So here, receivers, and this for sure, like we won't be using pre-save, that's a given, but we will be using our models, so we need to import the models, and I always try and do the explicit imports. This will be post in this. Okay, and right now we need to get the receiver. This will be post save. Sender will be post. And the dispatch UID unique name for this signal will be generate HTML from markdown. Pandoc MD to HTML. And judging by what I have on my second screen, we need to have the sender. We need to have an instance, so the instance would be the model and its data created and keyword arguments. So vargs. Let's do this for a moment and let's review what else do we need to have here. And so, okay, we will use update fields, I think, or no, for now let's do the simplest possible implementation of this, which honestly will be like every time I save stuff, I want my Pandoc to fire, right? Because like normally what I would try and do would be, and let's do it here, what I would try and do would be to, every time I send stuff, so it should only verify if the content changed, right? So it should do like, if content from the previous version is different from the content from this version, then do something, right? Or rather, the update fields should contain content. So let me do this. Right. Update fields. So this would be if content in update fields, right? So if we have content in the updated fields, then we want to fire up the Pandoc processing. But this is not the case. I want to do the simple stuff for now. So what we have to do is to we need to modify the instance, right? So when this is saved, so the instance is, if I remember correctly, the instance should be the model, right? No, this is a problem, because we will end up in a endless loop, right? Because every time this happens, what I want to do now, we'll have endless loop. It will just keep looping, because then I will modify the Pandoc stuff, will generate HTML and will save the model again and will fire up the signal in the, like, continuously. It will just fire up and nothing will, it will never stop. So what I want to do, I need to verify this. So let's try and find the answer here somewhere. Okay, so we just, yeah, we can do that. So instance. First off, before we can do anything, we need to install it. So we need to do pip install, and I believe it's PyPandoc. Okay, so we have PyPandoc installed. And we'll be doing this. We'll be converting text and receiving an H. I think currently my text editor doesn't recognize PyPandoc, so I won't get the automatic like hints for what is happening here. But anyway, I think we can manage. So we'll be doing this HTML content equals instance dot content, which will have to be converted. So by Pandoc convert text, and let's get this inside. So we are converting the text of the content. So the input format is so that's the case. Let me see if I can. I think I deleted everything. Yeah, it's a little bit problematic, but anyway. HTML content. So we are on every time that I send something, or any kind of user, let's say, saves a post, we will be taking the text from the post and converting it into HTML using Pandoc. For now, it's the simplest possible test, and then we'll do instance content HTML equals HTML content, and then instance save and update fields should be equal to something, but let's check this in this save update field. So, and right now I think update fields needs to be like this as well, specified. And if content HTML in update fields, then we want to pass else we want, and hopefully this works, and we'll just, I should be logging some stuff here. Let's just see if it works like it is now. Okay, which I am quite sure it won't, but let's just try. Firefox. Okay, so right now you can see how the website looks like without anything, and let's see. Okay, this is just a test post. Let's create a new one. See, content HTML, but this I will try and maybe say that it's not possible to access this. And something happened, which I am not sure what is that. An established connection was something. Let's just try and make it happen. Testing Pandoc. I'm also handling multiple multiple author for one post, for one article, like just like scientific writing. And so here we'll be doing like test Pandoc rendering markdown. This is testing stuff. Hopefully this works. Just maybe. I hope so. Okay. So we don't do this, we do this, and this won't work for sure, so let me try and fix some other stuff up. So we define this filter, which is currently handling markdown, and for that reason we need to do this, and I think we need to do this, and no, maybe here, yes. So here we need to do that, and here we need to do that. Okay, so right now let's just restart the server and let's hope this works. Let's log in again. Do it again. Testing Pandoc. We can try and test two authors. The subject is, let's say, Pandoc, and the content is markdown to HTML test. Again, I am testing stuff. Maybe it will work. And def and the advanced code. Let's see if this works. Let's say it's published. Let's give it a Python tag or whatever. And let's see the break. Bam! Works for now. Doesn't work here on the other hand, right? So something is wrong. Connection aborted error. So there is something weird going on in here. Interesting. Is it really? Okay, wow. Broken. Okay, I know why. Ah. Does it work now? Yes, it does. Okay. Quick stream fix. Anyway, it doesn't work for now. And I have no idea why. And this is due to this problem here. I need to turn on the fan. Let me. Okay, anyway. Let's try and fix this. Why does it fail? Connection aborted error. I think I know why. Okay, I think I know why. I'm not entirely sure that's the case. I'm just using my other project for that, where I already configured it some time ago and I don't remember. And that's the worst. It's just, I know I did something some time ago. I don't remember why. So that's the problem. That's why you need to have a proper documentation in your code. I'm still getting the error. But why though? Let's try and find the problem. Yeah, well, yeah, see, it's like I did this, I don't understand why this is a problem and so on. So that's quite surprising. Yeah, see, the problem is that the thing is I never had such a problem before. Like, this caught me off guard. So technically this should work. Okay, so what I need to check is if the posts, no, content HTML did not save. So currently the code doesn't work as it should. But why? That's the important question. Why doesn't it? So hello everyone, and last time we had some problems. I had no way to check and debug the receivers and if they work correctly, but this time I hope that I will be able to test the solution and to maybe say that it worked. So what I will try and do this time to be able to verify if the Pandoc like Pandoc, Python Pandoc or whatever you call it works, I'll just try to get a markdown piece of a file and I'll try to convert it from markdown to HTML just by a simple script. So we'll go and we'll do this. We'll get a markdown content, right? We'll get some markdown content, and what I'll try to do, this is written very badly, I'll try to go and use the Python Pandoc or PyPandoc or whatever it's called, and I'll try and generate an HTML file. So this will be the first thing I want to try and do before I do anything else. So, oh Xims, no handstands today. Today we're doing some Pandoc programming. I mean, not really Pandoc programming, but some Python programming. Trying to get Pandoc to work with my website. So right now, to be able to test that, I'm going to activate the environment. By the way, guys, if you didn't know that, you can try and use the Python default interpreter path, right? And set it up for workspace. And when you set it up for workspace, before it was python.python path. Yeah, and then you can set up the path for the Python that's within an environment without a virtual environment, so you don't install lots of different unnecessary packages where you don't need them. And so right now let's create a file and let's go test.md, right? Let's create another file, test main py Python file, right? And what we need to get is basically what I've had in the receivers here. So let's go and import PyPandoc, because this is required, and let's use their API. This will be, let's just go with convert text, source of the text. I believe this will be just a to HTML format MD, so markdown. And what we'll try to convert is just, let's go, this is H1 title, then new line, this is just a paragraph. This should work, I believe, right? And we are missing one comma here. Right. Yeah, so this should convert this string from markdown to HTML. And if this works, that's good. So let's just create a variable for that. Because this will convert a text output file. And yeah, let's provide it. Output file. And okay, let's see if it creates files for me. So let's just go this directory and let's go test output .html. Right. Yeah, and right now this should work, I guess, I think. So Python test main py. And let's see what happens. It creates a test output HTML file, and this works. So technically right now, what I know is that what we did last time should be able to work. See? Because technically my program, this by Pandoc convert text, this works and saves to a file, and then this file is as follows. So what is the problem right now? The problem is that my receivers might not work. So my receivers might not work properly. And hopefully I can try and fix them. And for that, I'll probably need to introduce some logging into my program, which I'll try, and maybe instead of setting it up from scratch, I'll just grab it from another project where I've already set it up. So let me try and find it and set it up. First of all, I guess that for the logging I will have to use the settings from the Django project that I already started somewhere else. Okay, I'm just looking for the code. So okay, so I have found the config, the settings part of so let's just get the update fields here. Let's go and verify that well, content HTML was detected in update fields. So we know that's calling pass. So we know that something happened here, right? And okay, converting a MD markdown to HTML. So this is just logging, some basic logging, and I believe that, well, this should work, hopefully. Let's just see if it does. Logging is not defined because I didn't import logging. That's great. So let's do that. Forgot about this one. Okay, see? The receivers works, auto reloading, or like something is logging, right? Something gets logged. So what we want to do now is to try and maybe connect. Yes, so something works. Okay. So what now? Let's go to admin. Let's go to post. Let's create a new one. And once again, we have some problems from whatever, but it still works. See that this is happening for the second time, and this happens while using Mozilla Firefox, but not when using Google Chrome or something. But I need to use Firefox because while I'm in full screen, I can use this top part of the browser, while if I'm full screen in Google Chrome or Opera, it doesn't work. So let's test it with two authors. Let's go again. Testing Pandoc number 2. Subject Pandoc, whatever, and the content. Let's go. This is H1 content. This is paragraph content with inline maths A plus, once again, A plus B equals T. Let's say, I think double is like this, and this is, well, let's just enter something here, like A equals C, whatever. This is H2 content. Content HTML is supposed to be empty. This needs to be set as published, and tags can be testing stuff. And this is horrible because there is no list of already created tags, so I need to try and fix this. But for now, let's just save this. Okay, and I already know I already have the error. So as you can see, something happened. So something happened here. Non-type is not iterable. Okay. If content HTML in update fields. So update fields are set as none, while okay, so basically what I need to do is something else. It's like I need to see if the update fields exists, basically, right? So fields is not none, and content HTML in update fields, I believe. Yeah, this should work, and if it doesn't, let's just call this. So let's restart this again. And well, we lost all of the content. So for that we'll just create a testing content here. H1 content. This is paragraph inline maths A plus B equals C. And bam, A2 equals C, whatever. This is H2 content, and this is another paragraph. Fenced Python code, def Python code of X, and this should be like whatever, some var equals list, append like some var pand x, and let's go return this is just like to see if this even works. Let's go like this. Let's copy. Let's create a new post. This is the content. We won't be having to write this every time. Testing Pandoc number 2 with 2 authors, so we can see and check that. And this is testing. Okay. So now let's see. Okay. It seems that this worked. So that's how you introduce Pandoc to your Django blog, right? Because you can even see the log here, right? That it's basically getting the stuff done. It's converting the content into content HTML, which is then being passed in here. And let's see how it looks like. It probably looks horrible, but for now it works. And well, it does. But the H1 and H2 doesn't work. So it converted stuff to HTML somehow, but it doesn't render properly, which is kind of weird. So let's go back and try and fix it and see maybe where the problem might be. So this should work, right? Because we have H1. Okay, I know where the problem is. Don't worry guys, I messed up. The thing is that we are using content and not content and HTML. So we just get content HTML instead of content here. Because remember, in our models, what we did is we created content, which is user generated, and then we have content HTML, which is generated by the server. And this is exactly like I was drawing in here. So the admin sends the stuff to Django, it's saved as content, and then content, by using receivers, on save or post save, however you want to call it, is automatically generating, like using Pandoc from markdown to HTML and saving to content HTML. So what we have to do, really, instead of serving the content, so instead of serving this, we need to be serving this content HTML. And yeah, this is supposed to work. So let's test it. So for sure this also needs to be changed to content HTML. And if this works, then we're fine. Let's just restart the server to check it out. And it broke stuff. Interesting. Some stuff got broken. See this? This is weird. Okay, I know what's happening. Because you know what? These posts have no content HTML because there was nothing automatically generated for them. You know why? Because I defined them before. And you need to remember about that when you're trying and making some changes in your Django, to make sure that you're serving the right stuff. Because look at this. In this post, I have the content HTML because I was testing on this one. But for all the previous ones, there is no content HTML. So Django really doesn't know what to serve. So that's something. But I must say that it works. It just works. And so guys, if you have any questions, let me know. I know that I wasn't reading chat for some time.